It started like any other Friday evening. My girlfriend, Laura, had been unusually chatty all week, texting and calling at odd hours, laughing at messages I couldn't see. I brushed it off at first, assuming it was harmless. But that night, when we met for dinner, the conversation took a sharp turn. "You know," she said casually, swirling her drink, "other guys have been showing interest. A lot of them. I just don't know if I'm ready to settle yet." I froze. The words hung in the air, sharp and unfamiliar. I thought she was joking at first. Maybe she wanted to see my reaction, test me. But the seriousness in her eyes told me otherwise. I took a slow breath, steadying myself. The first instinct was anger, to argue, to plead, to convince her that she didn't need anyone else. But then, clarity hit me. If she was openly admitting that other people were lining up for her, maybe it was time to step back. "All right," I said calmly. "I'll step aside. Let's see how that works." Her expression flickered, surprise, confusion, perhaps even panic. She hadn't expected me to take her words seriously. The rest of the evening was tense. I ate my food quietly, speaking only when necessary. Laura tried to justify herself, to explain, to laugh it off as a joke. But I remained silent, letting her words and actions speak for themselves. When we parted that night, I didn't hug her. I didn't kiss her. I simply said, "Goodbye," and walked away. Over the next few days, I reflected on the relationship. I realized I had been compromising too much, excusing behaviors that should have concerned me. Her comment wasn't just careless. It revealed a mindset that didn't value commitment, that treated affection as a negotiation. By stepping aside, I wasn't punishing her. I was testing the reality of her words. Would she miss me? Would she try to reach out sincerely, acknowledging the value of what we had? Or would she continue down the path of chasing attention elsewhere? Laura did reach out. At first, flirty messages, casual attempts to pull me back. I replied politely but reservedly, not revealing my emotions, not begging for reassurance. She escalated, calling late at night, sending long texts about how she didn't mean it, how she only wanted to feel appreciated. I read each message carefully, weighing my response. But instead of reacting impulsively, I remained calm. Her neediness didn't dictate my actions. My sense of self-worth did. A week later, I met her in person to discuss things clearly. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. I simply stated, I value myself and my time. If a relationship is going to work, it has to be mutual. It can't exist where one person is always considering options outside the partnership. She tried to argue, to charm, to apologize with empty words. But I could see the truth. Stepping aside had shown her the reality of her choices. My absence highlighted that her options only mattered if she valued the connection she already had. In the following weeks, I focused on myself. I reconnected with friends I had neglected, threw myself into work, and rediscovered hobbies I had set aside for the relationship. I realized that stepping aside wasn't defeat, it was empowerment. I had taken control of my life and emotions instead of letting someone else's indecision dictate my worth. Laura did eventually come to terms with her behavior. She admitted she had taken me for granted, that my calm departure had made her rethink her actions. But by then, I had grown stronger, more self-aware, and less willing to tolerate disrespect. I forgave her, not to return, but to release the weight of betrayal from my own mind. Forgiveness became my tool for moving forward, not a bridge back to a situation that had already revealed its cracks. Looking back, the lesson is clear. Sometimes stepping aside is the most powerful response. It's not about revenge, or punishment, or proving someone wrong. It's about demonstrating self-respect, setting boundaries, and allowing others to realize the value of what they risk losing. Her words were a test. My silence and departure were the answer. And in the end, I learned that love and respect must be mutual. Anything less isn't worth your time or energy. Months later, I've rebuilt my confidence, strengthened my friendships, and embraced the clarity that comes from choosing yourself first. I no longer allow someone else's attention-seeking behavior to control my emotions. And that, more than any reconciliation or argument, is what truly matters.